Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Fernandez, and today I'll be going over how I built this organizational chart from NJIT into Neo4J application. And before we get into that, I want to make sure I cover everything that we had to do for this assignment. So basically, we would have to outline who reports to who as it's described in this organizational chart. And as you can see in the senior vice provost here of academic affairs, there's a vacancy. And although we're showing the different people that report to each other, we're going to also make a node or a person that is called vacant to make sure we keep this accountable. And although we can see in this organizational chart that there's graduate faculty, graduate studies, and get graduate student association, um, we're not going to include this because we're only going to include the actual people that are involved in this organizational chart. So I'm going to move on to Neo4j, and each person is a node. So each of these circles basically is a different node. And each reporting relationship is represented as a directed arrow reports to. So, for example, Sandra Taylor would report to Lawrence Simon. And it goes from the lower rank person to their higher rank, like their boss, basically. And basically, in order to do this, I first created a node for every individual listed in the section of the organizational chart. Only names were included, no job titles, no degrees, as required per instructions. Next, I used match. So first, you can see all the different people, and then with match and create, I basically did the reporting relationships to connect each subordinate to their boss with the reports to arrow. For example, Clarissa Gonzalez would report to Soterios Zyrus. And you can see that in the chart here down below. Clarissa Gonzalez reports to Soterios Zyrus. And basically, I'm going to show you now the graph that we end up with. So then you can drag the nodes apart by basically zooming in here. And as you can see, the highest person in this organizational chart is going to be John A. Palesko. He is at the top. Everyone else has someone that they report to, but he's at the top. So he reports to no one because he's the executive vice provost. And this is basically the chart that you should end up with if you made sure everything was correct. As you can see here, I basically did some comments to make sure that I got all of the different branches. So graduate studies branch, undergraduate studies branch, and I basically just did this for my memory, but there was really no reason to separate each of the people because we just wanted to know who reports to the who without knowing what branches they're a part of. And I'm really proud of the work that I was able to do this and how I was able to learn a new application from this course. Thank you.